per usual.
There you go.
Good idea from Steve. Okay. Let's you want to go to hockey first?
Sure.
About that? Okay. Let's set the scene going into this weekend. I think that's a better way to do it. First off, I think the win on Friday night for Penn State was one of the better, more fun hockey games I've watched Penn State play in quite some time, and made me jealous not to have a ticket at Pagula Ice Arena. Like it was like I wish I would have been there for that one. They lose to Minnesota on Saturday, and that puts them. Let me double check it, but it basically puts them 15th in the pairwise. But it puts them, based on some other things that have happened around the country, puts them in the tournament as we speak. Now, things can change. Things are going to change. If you're a Penn State fan, sorry, they're 14th in the pairwise. If you are a Penn State fan, you're pretty much hoping and wishing for Quinnipiac to hold out and hold serve in the ECAC, and then nobody outside, like from the outside of the NCHC, which is presently led by Western Michigan, who is 5 in the pairwise, to kind of steal a bid. Denver's the only other top 16 pairwise team there. That sets the scene for what could be, I think, and maybe we could, like, I feel like you could keep writing this over the last X number of weekends, and I think the story you sent me today that I need to post kind of alludes to this. Like, this might be the biggest weekend for Penn State hockey maybe ever, aside from the time that they had a shot to go to the Frozen Four, right?
Yeah. I think I'll make it big. I think it's the biggest weekend for Big Ten hockey in a while.
Okay.
Right?
Why?
Because, well, the Big Ten has never had more than 4 teams in the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
This year, if Penn State makes it, unless they knock out Michigan, which is ahead of them, right? I mean, it feels like this is either a play-in spot for that 4th spot, or all 5 of them make it if Penn State can somehow win. Because I think they do need to win this weekend. I mean,
I think they need to win one game. I haven't played around with the calculators or anything like that. I think they need to win one game for sure to feel safe, particularly dependent on what Arizona State does, because they're kind of the other equation into this, if you will. I think that's where I'm at. But I think you would feel better. Well, first off, you would feel better with just winning the automatic qualifier, but you've got to win 4 games to get there. So I think if you're somebody that wants to see Penn State get to Allentown, and then maybe beyond that, you're rooting for them to win at least twice this weekend and move on.
Right.
And then I don't think, depending on who they play, I don't know that it would matter terribly. They'll probably play, if everybody kind of holds serve, then they would play Michigan State, who I don't know that they're going to get dinged that much in the pairwise if they lose to Michigan State. Whereas, Penn State's playing really only 2 teams ahead of them in Michigan this week. So I agree with your point, though. That I hadn't thought about that until it sent me that article today.
Yeah, I didn't start until I started doing the numbers. I'm like, wait a second. And realistically, this is bringing truth to the whole Penn State joining and making the Big Ten hockey mean something, right? Because if you go back, there were years where the Big Ten had 2 teams. Well, they had 1 in 2015 and 2 in 2016, right? So since Penn State's been good and been there, like, their presence has lifted up. You could make the argument that their presence has lifted up the rest of the conference and made it so much better. I mean, if the 7-member Big Ten hockey conference gets 5 teams in the NCAA tournament, that's pretty stinking impressive.
That's very impressive.
So, and Penn State's run, I mean, it's just been, I mean, we've talked. I mean, just at the end of December, I thought there was a good chance the program was going to make some changes, more so than they were going to be like knocking on the door and making the tournament.
I mean, I think that's the thing that is so impressive about this. And I would have, I don't think I've ever seen it click for a Penn State team the way we've seen it click, quite literally. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this, since 2016, and the way it clicked for Penn State football after that Minnesota, or from that Minnesota game on. I think that's what's been so fascinating about this run.
Is hockey more than me or deeper into it? Is Godowski Coach of the Year?
Or
not?
No, I think you got to get. what Michigan State has done with Adam Augustine is by far more impressive.
They're supposed to be good though, right?
Sorry, Adam Nightingale. I can never keep him and Adam Trey Augustine correct.
Right.
Yes, but they weren't very good for the last 8 years, and they've really turned this program around. And I think
but it's this coach of this year, right? Team starts 0-8 in the conference.
I guess you make a good
pick
point.
to finish next to last.
Can I just say Jeff Campersol? Can I just take the opt out and just say let's pick the women's hockey coach instead?
And I don't know that I care strong. And and I guess I'm asking because Guy is so much. It's not us, it's the players, right? Like we're going to prepare them during the week, and they've got to decide how to play. So when I think about that, I'm like, well, okay, so where's your influence? I mean, I believe it's strong, but it's interesting, right? Like, okay, if you're saying it's up to the kids, that the kids just start clicking, or did you help them click? So, but I think you can make a case. I mean, you got to be able to make a case for it if they go from 0-8 to.
Yeah, you make a good point. And I think as we've explored, most of their issues in that 0-8 stretch were injury related. Like it was
fair. Like,
and I think we said this was Tripp last weekend. Like they're in the tournament. They're comfortably in the tournament. If they go 4-4 during that stretch.
No, if they go 2-6,
right,
they're probably in the tournament, realistically. After what they've done now, anyway.
Yeah, at least after what they've done now. So I think that's changed things for sure. So yeah, you make a good point. Okay, well, I'm sure we'll find that out relatively soon.